Hey guys, welcome to my next video. Today I'm doing Mobile Suit Gundam Senjou no Kizuna, which is a pod-based arcade machine. The arcade machine itself is a big pod, and you have dual stick controls, two pedals, obviously triggers on the control sticks themselves, plus selectors on there to go through not weapons but actually commands, like voice commands. This game is really heavily based on teamwork and communication, so there's actually a headset to the side which you're supposed to use to talk to your team, plus lots of like preset voice commands that you can do off the sticks themselves. So here you can see the machine itself. You enter the door on the left. They usually put a basket there for you to put your goods in. You can see the two sticks. Since it's super hot in Japan, there's a fan in there. There's the controls for the headset, so you can do the volume. It didn't focus very well, but you can do the volume and obviously activate it so you can actually speak. There you go, you can see the on off there, volume up and down. And then you got the headset, super blurry. But yeah, if you're going to play yourself, I mean, you don't have to worry about the headset because it's very unlikely you can talk to any of the other players. But there's a headset there if you do want to try. There are preset voice commands, so you can use those also on the controls, but again, everything's in Japanese, so unless you can read at least a little bit, it's unlikely you're going to know what command you're sending to the rest of your team. So here I am, just jumped into the machine and starting up. So you battle against other people online, and you can also battle against bots, depending on if there's any players that are there to be matched with you. For example, in my first game there were couple of players, so it matched me with players, at least one player, while the second match there was no one, so it didn't match me with anyone, just filled it full of AI. This game itself is not massively popular. It's quite expensive actually, because it's 300 yen for one play, while most other games are 100 or sometimes 200, depending on the game itself. Probably the closest one I can match this one to is the Starwing Paradox that I did on my first video, which also costs similar. It uses the GP system where you get like some energy, and that determines how long or how long you can be in the match or doing stuff in the shops and whatnot. And when that runs out, it obviously finishes your game time, but you can top it up as you play. This has not got the same system. You pay for each play, so you get 2 matches for each 300 yen. In the first one you can see that the enemy team had a couple of players. In my team I believe it was just me. So let me explain. So the game itself it's got this massive screen in front of you, so it does fill your entire vision while you're playing. The controls, however, are pretty bad. The game is quite a slow game. There's a lot that I wasn't sure on while I was playing, though I might look into it later to see if I can make a new video with some of the new options I find on it. But for this game in particular, I don't think it's terribly popular, so I might not go into that too much. For the controls themselves, you have the 2 pedals. So the left pedal is like a jump pedal, so it uses like a booster to jump you up, while the right pedal is your evasion pedal, so you use that one to dodge left and right. Yep, you can see me using it there. It uses the boost bar to move around really fast, and you can combo that sort of boost pedal with the jump pedal as well to boost in the air. Movement, however, is done by using both of the analog sticks. So if you want to move forward, you have to push both sticks forward. If you want to go back, you have to pull both sticks back. If you want to turn, you have to push like if you want to turn right, it's left stick forward, right stick back. If you want to turn left, left stick back, right stick forward. If you want to strafe, both to the right or both to the left. This makes it really quite horrible to play. So I guess this might be maybe one of the reasons why it isn't as popular as it could be, and that would be the controls. They're really, really awkward to use. It's very hard to. So you have a lock-on button. So on the right on the right stick, you have the button there which locks you on if you're facing the enemy unit, and facing the enemy unit can be like an absolute chore. It's usually easy just to use the automatic lock-on that you get, as long as you're facing them closely to the center of the screen. Like you can see there, it automatically locks onto enemies, so you can fire at them. You do have the left trigger there, like the left button and the left stick, that actually changes targets, but you do have to lock on to use that one. So the other options you have, like which you can see on the screen, so you have your armor, that's basically your HP. Once that gets to 0, as I imagine is going to happen real soon, you will blow up and then come back down. Your boost bar is used for the evasion, boost evasion. When it goes down, it just refills after a bit of time. So yeah, there you go. I got killed, ran out of armor, and you come back in. The fight itself is based on points. So here, the Gundam I'm actually using is like the main Gundam of the series, but you have some of the more like the common units, like the GMs for the Earth Defense Force, and the Zaku's for the Xeon, and they have a lower cost. So you can see on the sort of like left column of my cockpit, you can see the 12-8, the 1-380. That's like the points for the for your team there. So obviously you're trying to kill the enemy and deplete the team's their points, and if obviously they kill your units, it depletes yours. If you take a unit which is what do you say, like a stronger unit or one of the like named units, they have a bigger cost. So if they're destroyed, then the enemy get a lot more points there. So yeah, in this game it looks like everyone on the enemy team, or at least 2 of them, are actual real players. On my team, likely 2 players or 3 players were actually there for that one. After it, you get points that go towards the suit you're kind of using. You get the usual drops with most games where you get this is the actual ranking, so you get the ranking points. So I'm in D because I've not played it, or played it very little. And then you usually at the end you get some drops, so you get some items which you can equip onto your Gundam or whichever mobile suit you're using. And obviously as you win more matches, you can get more items and use different things. The good points of the game is the screen is actually really nice when you're in it, because it's slightly curved and goes around you, hence the whole pod idea. It does fill your vision, and it's not too bad a screen to look at. It's not the best screen in the world, but it's quite I'd say like it does put you in the game more than most other games would do. So here I actually changed to a different model of Mobile Suit, one of the cheaper ones here. So yeah, in this match I believe none of them were actually players. Maybe on my team, but I don't think the enemy had any players themselves, just AI. The weapons you get is you usually get one gun, one beam saber or melee weapon, and a grenade of some type. I believe there's different grenades you can get and do different things. Unfortunately, one of the things I couldn't quite work out is when you do a melee attack, you can see there it's got a grapple gauge. Now it always showed me grapple 1, and I couldn't do anything with the triggers or work out exactly what the use of the grapple gauge is itself. It might be when you attack them, it kind of locks you into an animation with them, so they can't move or anything like that. Though I'm not sure that one was actually something that kind of escaped me there. Overall, the game it's good for 1 or 2 plays, but definitely not one that, I mean, I rarely play it, if at all. Um, Unfortunately, for me, it just doesn't. It's a little slow. The controls are clunky, and it's very hard to aim. Uh, though it seems to have a very nice system for working with teammates and others, it's just a very expensive game, but just not having the greatest of gameplay, and like I said, those clunky controls. Uh, Otherwise, the pros to it, I mean, it is like a cockpit-based mobile suit game, so it's it kind of puts you in the action, so that does actually feel very good. The sound's really good when you're inside the pod. The seat's actually quite comfortable. The controls themselves, like, aren't there's nothing wrong with the controls themselves. The sticks move around like really smoothly. It's quite easy to read the pedals. The seat's adjustable as well, so if you need to move it in, move it back a bit, you can do that as well. And yeah, it records all your data, obviously, on your IC card, so you can check that either online, and they have the machines. I mentioned this before in other videos. Most of these games have their own dedicated machine just for doing things like customizing your units and characters, or like you going to buy stuff from like the in-game shop for your characters, or doing some like costume work, or basically anything you'd be doing in the menu in before you're in actual matches or like quests or whatever it is for the game you're playing. So in this game in particular, you can have a look at the units you've got, the weapons you've got. You can like pre-equip all the whatever weapons you want to the units that you have. um, Check things like rankings, check your rank, see leaderboards, things like that. And this is much the same with a lot of the other arcade machines that you'll see in Japan. They'll have some sort of machine where you can check certain things, depending on the type of game it is. So if you have like a card game based one, you can check the cards you've got, or change your decks, or things like this. For beat 'em ups, it might be changing costumes and little bits like that, maybe watching replays. So yeah, depending on the game, depends on what you can do on the machine itself. Finally, here we've got the they call it the pilot terminal. So this is what I was speaking about, the extra machine that you can use your card to see. I just finished, so here it's showing my daily login, so they're giving away new mobile suits each day that you play. You can see the points there, like ranking points, the like experience for the mobile suits I was using, a title, new sub gun, new gun there, and everything in total there. Here it's asking me if I want to change my title. So as you get new titles, you can obviously use this machine to edit it. Again, edit the mobile suits that you're using, change the weapons on them, so forth. This is a like a ranking, how to say, like a mini ranking, so you can play against like in a small league table, I guess, against a few players and try and go for rank number one. Yeah, the machine's really quite cool, not super hard to use. You can go to, yeah, as you see, mobile suits, pilots, looking at the teams, uh, choose the ones you want. Here you can see all the ones that you start with. I don't believe I have any new models, like any new suits, except for that the one you saw me get with the daily login. Unfortunately, as I said before, this isn't really one of my favourite games at all, so it's very unlikely I will play it after today, or if I do, it will just be a rare chance, maybe with a friend or something. So fantastic. Thank you guys for watching this video. Uh, as always, I appreciate any subscribes, likes for the video, and I'm always looking forward to see any new comments. Maybe your thoughts on the game itself, any games you'd like me to do, anything like that is great. Yeah, let me know. Let me know if you want me to do any particular videos in the arcade, for example. Anything like that is great. I welcome any kind of request like that. So for my next videos, I actually this time did a few recordings, so we're having a bit of a Gundam spree. We'll be doing the Victory versus Gundam fighting game next, and then there'll also be a Sword Art online one coming up too. So please check out my other new videos once I get those uploaded too. And yeah, enjoy, and until next time.